Hi, friends. I'm Katie.
And I'm Lauren, and welcome to Okay, But Did You Know? A podcast where we talk about the TV and media that we love with a friend who's never seen it before.
Today, we're recapping and chatting about Bob's Burgers Season 2, Episode 3, Synchronized Swimming, and Episode 4, Burgerboss. So, we're going to start with the synopsis for Season 2, Episode 3. Synchronized Swimming. The Belcher kids trick Mr. Frond into allowing them to participate in independent study instead of gym class. Bob debuts a new soft serve ice cream machine to the restaurant. So, I will say, I did tell you that, Season 2 really does not have a lot of bad episodes. Most of them are really good.
Statistically, it's bound to have them. There's only 9 of them, in theory.
Exactly. So and it so this one has a lot of burgers, so I really am excited to see which puns you picked up on, but you may not have gotten all the burgers because there are a lot of them in this
Yeah, I
episode.
think I tried. I don't know how many of them I got. I should start color coding them in my notes so I'm not looking through it to try and find them.
Mhm. So the vacant storefront.
Yes, I got Puka Pagoda Puka Shell Warehouse, which is a mouthful.
Yes, which very big mouthful. The pest control truck,
And that is Ratty Shack.
which we all know what that reference is. It's the reference
That's
to
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack, which, if you notice within this episode,
Yep.
Caddyshack is referenced again later in the episode when
Mhm.
Louise poops in the pool,
And actually does. It's not a fake one.
which is a continuity error.
Really?
Later in the show, you will see what I mean, but see if you can
Okay.
remember this moment. That
Okay.
is a continuity error, and I am angry about it. But I can't really talk
Okay.
about it until you get much, much later into the show because
Welcome to my world.
this is one of the few, because usually with Bob's Burgers, I'm just like, oh, it's a cartoon, it's fine. No, this one's a biggie, and I'm just like, why, writers? Why?
Okay.
How many burgers did you find?
Okay. So we have the Use It or Blues It burger.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The One Yam Band burger.
So that one's really cool. Comes with yams, but this one is included in the Bob's Burgers burger book. In the cookbook, it's called One Man Yam Burger.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Do Brussels burger is what I wrote down. I don't know if that was actually what it was.
That is exactly what it was. It comes with Brussels
Okay.
sprouts.
Okay. I think that might be it.
So the other two are Shake Your Honey Maker Burger, comes with honey mustard. And
Like it.
the other one that was very much on topic was Burger a la mode, comes with ice cream, not on top.
That's important. I don't really know if I would want a burger with ice cream on it.
I'm good. I mean, maybe, oh, well, depends on the patty, but fried ice
Okay.
cream. Fried ice cream on something. That or with, maybe with French fries would be better.
I'm very much a dip my fries in the frosty kind of person.
Yes. Get a McFlurry and some very salty hot fries, like fresh fries. Nothing
That
tops
I've
that.
never done.
Do that. Get just a McFlurry if McDonald's ice cream maker's working. And hopefully really fresh, hot, salty fries. It's one of my favorite things. When I was pregnant with both of my children, that was my go-to snack. I loved it.
But it's funny that you say if their machine is working, because I wrote down, is Bob's ice cream machine gonna also never work like McDonald's?
Right? Oh, so I do have fun facts, as I always do.
Okay.
The family's last name, Belcher, was not mentioned in the series until this episode. The first episode to have a clue to their last name was The Belchies, although it didn't mention their name in the episode. After this episode, of course, their name is mentioned far more, like they are the Belchers, but this was our first time actually being informed they are the Belchers.
I love that. I mean, I guess knowing their name is the Belchers going in, I didn't clock it that it's not actually mentioned. But I like that.
And then, speaking of names, this is also the first episode where Mr. Frond's first name, Philip, is spoken. So it's Philip Frond.
I hate it.
Horrible.
I hate him, but I also hate it.
Right? I have to remind me to tell you something with the name Philip later.
Okay.
This is the only episode in the second broadcast season to be rated TV PG.
Okay. What's it normally rated?
Which I think PG-13.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to look it up. I will have that information next time because
Okay.
I'm not sure. I have two other notes. I'm saving the weirdest one for last, but this one is when Linda is in the restaurant telling Bob she quit being the kid's coach. The man who ordered the child molester burger of the day from the first episode is sitting at the counter.
Oh my
He
god.
is a regular, apparently.
Okay then.
And then, oh god, the last fun fact I have is the brand of cat food Andy and Ollie bring to school is pussyfish.
I wrote down I really hate Andy and Ollie.
I don't think many people like Andy and Ollie.
No. Like, the more they show up, they're like, they are inching above Gene and characters that I dislike.
Right? And Gene, I think, gets better with time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just get used to him.
Yeah.
Teddy, not so much.
Yeah, again, Teddy, like, of course he would eat anything, including a sponge.
Like, and of course he's like, don't feed a man a sponge. Don't eat it.
Yeah.
Like, don't eat it.
Maybe ask what something is before you put it in your mouth.
I cannot wait to hear your notes on this.
I mean, I wrote down again. Oh, he said something about being a guidance counselor, so I wrote down a self-certified guidance counselor. I'm still bitter about that.
You're gonna be bitter about that forever.
Yeah. Linda cracking her joints like a glow stick.
Yep.
That with that yoga.
I relate.
Yeah.
Also, prenatal yoga.
I guess why not? If it works, it works.
It works. It doesn't work as a synchronized swimming routine.
No, it doesn't. But you know, she's doing her best.
Fair.
Yeah. Tina's comment about always getting hit in the head in sports, and I just wrote down, maybe I am Tina.
You're Tina.
Because that's why, I mean, okay, that's not why I stopped playing soccer. I stopped playing softball because I think I said this in the episode with the finale, that I just got hit every season. Not in the head.
Getting injured.
Always injury. I didn't get injured in basketball, and I think that's because the coach was my best friend's dad, and he knew to put me in for like the minimum requirement or else I would hurt myself.
Oh no.
So he put me in for as
At
little as
least
he
they
had
knew.
to. He knew me very well. He knew my coordination. He's like, I'm good on my feet with the ball, not so much. So the ice cream people are the worst. They just the teenagers that were like asking if it's low fat, if they can swirl. He's like, no, we can't swirl. All of it. I'm just like, go away.
You're in that moment. You're Bob because Bob just screamed at them to leave.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think Bob was what I got on our who were you most like quiz.
You got Bob and I got Louise. Yeah.
So I was just like, go away.
I wrote, I don't think schools do shirts and skins anymore.
No, they definitely don't, especially not elementary schools. Or I guess he's middle school technically.
So it's a magnet school.
Oh, okay.
Because all three kids go to school together, but
Yeah.
Tina's 13.
Yeah.
So it's a magnet school of elementary and middle together.
Gotcha. Okay. Either way, at any age under 18, they're not making kids take their shirts off.
No. Now, I mean, I remember in high school living where I do, after school, some guys, like, within different practices would probably take their shirt off. But, I mean, we were, like, 16. Guys do that.
That's different also. That is not technically school-sanctioned behavior. Is like, okay, let's all get half naked.
Yeah, I would be worried about a school if they were telling a child to get half naked in the middle of the day.
Not
That's
happening.
Nope. Not happening. I mean, I homeschool, so.
They can do whatever they want.
They can do whatever they want.
Or Teddy will eat a sponge, but he won't eat cold ice cream.
He likes his ice cream soup, which my child does the same thing sometimes.
All children do that. I did that.
I don't understand
I used to take vanilla ice cream and with a very specific kind of sprinkles, and I would kind of like make it kind of not like you wouldn't make it like literal soup, but you just turn hard ice cream into soft ice cream by just stirring it a lot. But that was already soft serve. He has no excuse.
I think that's more so what I was thinking of. Like, it's soft serve, like regardless of if it's melted. Like, that's just straight up melted. It's like soup. I lost my little skeleton.
Oh no, little skeleton buddy.
Well, I like to talk with my hands. I can't help it.
Katie's got a little skeleton buddy on her microphone.
So, I mean, he was a full skeleton. Now he's only a half skeleton. My toddler decided to break his spine.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a good times.
Yeah.
Oh, and how much did you enjoy more Tom Selleck?
I wrote down, yes, we know, Linda loves Tom Selleck. We get it.
The Tom Seleckian mustache. Like, she has a type.
She does have a type.
Look, I can relate. Not the mustache, but I love a good beard. And my husband has a very long beard.
Yeah, I know.
I can't help it, all right?
I understand. We all have our preferences. It's fine.
Mine's just weird. I have a favorite line that I did write down. Anthrax smells like babies.
Yeah, that was good.
I was like, what?
I do agree with Louise. Like, I mean, as someone that got out of gym class for various medical exemptions throughout high school, I do agree that the point of independent study is not to be graded, but to prove that you learned. So I'm like, yes, she's trying to weasel out of phys ed, but I don't disagree with the sentiment that the point of independent study is to prove that you were able to learn something, not how well you can prove.
Mm-hmm. But how do you prove?
But like
How do you prove it
doing
without
some kind of,
doing it?
I guess, well, independent study for phys ed, let's be real here, is bogus to begin with. Um, like in the case of when I had to do makeup
Oh, of
work
course.
for my gym class, it depended on the teacher what they wanted to do when I was medically exempt. Some took it more seriously than others. One had me write like a one paragraph, like I would call it an essay, but it was one paragraph, like synopsizing some topic of like that has to do with health and fitness per week that I was out. So I was
Mm-hmm.
out for 5 weeks one year because I was hospitalized. So I came with like 5 paragraphs about like 5 paragraphs on 5 different topics about various topics. But then the next year I was out again because I was between medications and I almost passed out after the mile run. That was fun. After that, we didn't do a mile run after that. After that, it changed to some kind of like cross country situation. I don't think the two are related, but it's still funny. But I was out for like an entire semester. That teacher, what she had me do as my makeup work, she came up to me one day while I was doing like my homework in the back of the gym while everyone else was doing things. And she just like comes up to me and goes, "You know how to make a mixtape?" And I look up at her like, "Yes." Like I
This is early
did.
2000s, right?
No, this was like 2012.
Oh.
But I knew what she meant, and I knew how to make a mixtape. I knew how to make a mixtape. I knew how to make a CD. So I look up at her and go, "Yes. Do you have a reason as to why you're asking me this?" She's like, "Can you make us a CD of music to play during indoor gym? That'll be your whole makeup work." I'm like, "Okay. When do you want it by?" She's like, "I'll give like 2 weeks." Okay, great. So like, not everyone took it very seriously, but like, I feel like if you're gonna do, I don't disagree with doing some kind of showcase, but that showcase should be all that it is. Grading the showcase, I think, is the issue.
Yeah. For me, it was very different. I was JRTC.
Hmm.
So JRTC, it was Fridays were our PT days, and half the time we played a sport, like by choice, or
Hmm.
walked around the football field.
Gotcha.
Which I'm kind of laughing a little bit because both of us sound like we were not exactly the most physically fit people growing up in high school. And now I'm just like, I want to lift heavy things and put them back down. And you've been trying to run. And we're like, I actually like this. What happened? When did this happen?
We like the kinds of physical activity that we like because I mean, despite the fact that I wasn't very sports oriented as a child, and I
Mm-hmm.
still am not. Like I run, it's a fairly solitary thing, and like I do events that aren't meant for me to win; they're meant for me to finish. My goal is always finish, never get. My goal is always finish and don't come in last. That's usually my two goals: is don't come in last. Quiet you.
I'm
I'm making a point here.
it's a very good point.
Getting in the way of my point. So again, I may not be very sports oriented, but I was like physically active as to the best of my abilities, but in a different way, in a way that I enjoyed. I did dance. I was in musical
Mm-hmm.
theater. Those are very active things. Like even in
Yeah.
college, also I like when I was in college, I was in a production of Cabaret, and for Mine Hair, we did, which is one of the songs, and for those who have not seen Cabaret,
Mm-hmm.
one of the songs that's like from like the club part of the show that is traditionally a chair dance with the main character and the people in the background. And our cast was small enough; all of the girls were just in it, and it's a chair dance. And like rehearsing that was literally a full body workout. I think
Oh, yeah.
I lost 12 pounds during that production alone because I wasn't eating junk food. I was just kind of eating because I didn't have time, but that's another issue. But I was moving my body a lot. So like physical activity was not a thing that I didn't do. I'm just not good at throwing sports equipment around.
Yeah, I think I realized, like, as I got older, because I'm about to turn 30, that you reach a certain age, I feel, or a certain point of your life that you actually just find the thing that you really love doing. Some people are lucky enough to find it in high school. I didn't figure out that I liked lifting weights until after my first divorce.
Yeah.
So it's just when you learn it and when you do it,
Hmm.
like, because for me, I couldn't run. I still am a terrible runner.
I'm
I
not
cannot run.
fast.
Like, oh, I probably walk faster than I run. Like, I am not a runner. But then, like, discovering that lifting weights is wonderful for me. But
Hmm.
I'm pretty certain I'm neurodivergent. Apparently, lifting weights can be really great for people who have brains like mine because it doesn't take very long. You get to count, do a few things, you're done.
Yeah.
It's great.
Hmm.
But then, like, but I have long endurance. Like, whenever I was in high school and all the ROTC stuff, I was like color guard commander and all this stuff, to the point I led like so many different parades and I did miles and miles of marching, and I could do that forever. I
Yeah.
could march for miles. Like, that's easy.
Hmm.
Running? No. Don't get me to run. I'll fall flat on my face.
Yeah. Like running, like
I
again,
won't be able to breathe.
I'm not fast. I think right now my PB on a 5K is 42 minutes, which is slow for most people. That's I
Mhm.
don't know what the math. I think it's like a 14-minute mile roughly, which to be fair,
Yeah.
which honestly 14-minute mile for me is the fastest I think I've ever run a mile. Like quite frankly.
That's wonderful though. I love
Which is
that.
great. It was a great course. It was flat. It was like beginning of May. The weather was perfect. I had a really good playlist. I was very happy. I think I'm doing the same race again this coming year in May. I
Mhm.
my goal is to just beat that time from last year. Whether I like that,
And that's
I
wonderful.
think I can do that if my foot heals, because your girl's coming off an injury,
Yeah.
because your girl is I say this whole thing of I'm coordinated, and then I fell off a curb to a point, up to a point so badly I had to go to urgent care for a bruised toenail, and literally no one there believed me that all I did was fall off a curb. Like, how did you do
I
this?
yeah. I
So
believe it because I've done stuff like
I
that myself.
I promise I am coordinated, just not when I'm carrying
Mhm.
4 bags and I'm slightly delirious with a cold.
Yeah, for me, it's like I wanna be able to start trying to run slowly, like,
Yeah.
maybe build myself up to it because I wanna be able to do it, but, yeah, not with this hip because I'm almost 30 and I think I have arthritis in my hip. It's a wonderful time. So, what did you score this one?
So I gave this one an 8 for plot, because it had a solid plot, and I thought it was like with the kids kind of learning their lesson, the morality of like, don't take your mom for granted, because it might come back to bite you.
Mhm.
But in the end, she'll still help you because you're family. I liked the plot. I thought it was good. I thought it had good flow. Similar for character, I gave it a 7. Same kind of thing. Um, I think because the kids were annoying me with how much they were taking Linda for granted, I think is what knocked off a few points there. Like, yes, they're kids. I'm sure we all did stuff like this when we were younger, but I was still like, also maybe just the amount of Andy and Ollie. I don't know, but
Yeah, Andy and Ollie are definitely a,
yeah. So
fun
I gave it
time.
a 7 for character, and then I gave it an 8 for personal, because it was an enjoyable episode that I had a lot of fun watching. So I gave this one a 23 out of 30.
Nice. I gave it
Okay,
7 across the
that's solid.
board. All 3 7, so a 21, not my highest, but, like,
Andy and
Andy and Ollie.
Ollie, I can't stand them.
Andy and Ollie. I can tolerate and, like, I tolerate them because it's my favorite show. Of course, I'm gonna tolerate the ones
Yeah.
that are just like, "Eh." But thankfully, they're not around so much that you're like, "Good God, please give me an
Hmm.
episode without them." But when they do pop up, you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh god, here we
Yeah.
go." Does that make sense? Okay. Now for one of my favorites. Season 2, Episode 4, Burger Boss. Bob brings a new coin-op game into the restaurant only for Jimmy Pesto to win the high score and write Bob sucks on the leaderboard. Bob becomes obsessed and must get it off the leaderboard, even resulting to lying to his wife. Puns
So we got a fridge too far, used appliances.
with a clearance sale going
Yeah.
on.
Which I think a fridge too far, for some reason, I think that's also a Simpsons joke. I can hear it in the voice of a Simpsons character, but I
Mhm.
don't know in what context.
Like, you gotta, like, pinpoint it, but you don't know
I would
yet.
I would need to look it up, like, A Fridge Too Far Simpsons and find out, like, I'm certain they've made that pun.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then Chester the Depester.
I love this one. I don't know why. If you ever want to, in my notes, I've started putting the pictures of these. I need to start putting it actually in the script, but
Mhm.
I've added the pictures of these as well, just because it's fun.
Mhm.
And there are 3 burgers.
Okay. So I got Papaya was a Rolling Stone burger.
Yep. Play on the song Papa Was a Rolling Stone by the group The Undisputed Truth.
Okay. Let's see. We got Good Night and Good Leak burger.
Now, you please tell me you know what that reference is.
I feel like I should, but I don't.
You should, because it's
I feel
a
like once you tell
classic
me,
thing.
I think once you tell me, my brain's gonna go, "Oh yeah."
That is a reference to newsman Edward R. Murrow's sign off. I'm sorry. Good night and good luck.
Okay. Yep. I don't think I got the last one.
Okay, so the last one is Band on the Bun Burger comes with wings, a play on the song and album Band on the Run by Wings. The thing that annoys me
Mhm.
about this one is the price of the burger of the day on this one, this because it's the special, is the same as the rest of the burgers, but it comes with wings,
Oh yeah.
meaning Bob's losing money on it.
Yeah.
And it annoys me so much. He should charge more for that one because it comes with wings.
Yeah, also, to be fair, the burger of the day should always be slightly more expensive.
And it's not it's like I think it's 5 I want to say 5.25 is the price of the
Mhm.
burger of the day. Now I don't know if that comes with your drink and your fries, because if you watch
Yeah.
enough, you see behind Teddy the actual menu with all the different things you can get and fries and a
Yeah.
drink. There's no I never see a combo. It looks like you have to add those things on.
Gotcha.
So, but I'm wondering, the burger of the day, is that for a combo? Is that just simply the burger? But I don't
Probably.
think I know the answer to that question.
I don't know.
I have a lot of fun facts.
Okay, tell me.
A lot.
You've heard me rant, so have
Oh,
at it.
this is one of my favorites. Books Linda reads in this episode.
The
Because as you
romance
know,
novels.
all the romance novels that Linda is reading. Of course, I'm watching this episode to prepare for this again, and all I'm sitting there and thinking is, it's Lauren just
Well,
reading.
I wrote down I love that Linda is a romance lover. I would say like me, but she's definitely not reading sapphic romance.
No, she is not reading sapphic romance, but she is definitely
No.
reading some romance. But here are the titles. The first one is The Seaman's Wife. I need to preface actually. We are both very much in the book community online. So
Yeah.
some of these titles are funnier than they should be.
I mean that yes. Well, they're clearly like most of them were meant to be puns. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
probably should have looked closer at them.
But when
But
you're
like
like,
we're both very much in the book community and I think even more so is in the romance book talk
yeah.
community. So I've seen everything.
The next one is All Hands on Rick.
I really wish I had clocked these.
There's 2 more. The next one is Ahoy Mating.
I shouldn't have taken a sip of water there.
Oh man. And then the last one is called The Sensuous Swabby.
I don't like the word sensuous. It's kind of like moist.
Exactly, I felt the same way. But when I saw that I could actually find out, like, get these listed, I was very excited for your reaction. Thank you for taking that sip of water. It was perfect.
I'm already coming off of a cold. We don't need to drown me also.
No, we're not. Um, Linda picks Bob up by his right ear from under the pool table. This is the first time one of Bob's ears has been visible in the series, because we don't really see their ears.
Yeah, we see them very much from the front, I've noticed, which is not the norm for a lot of animation, where you mostly see them in profile or in slight profile.
The episode is this episode is the first to be nominated for a Primetime Emmy
Very
in the
nice.
Outstanding Animated Program category. It lost to Nickelodeon's animated series The Penguins of Madagascar for the episode The Return of the Revenge of Dr. Blowhole.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm saving one of the other ones. Let's see. Actually, no. Tina's birthday and She's Cab Bob is referenced, showing continuity in the series.
Okay.
Which is only done so much, I know, with animation, is continuity is not always a big thing in these types of animation shows.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things that got me really excited because I'm just like, continuity!
Woo!
I like it. But then also the last episode had a continuity error, so I'm just kind of like, all right, we got it in this one.
We love it.
When Linda arrives at Glencrest Yacht Club, she hums the theme song to Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, I heard that.
You did hear that?
Yeah.
Bob getting his hands hurt is said to be a reference to Friends.
I would believe that. That sounds like something they put on
Friends. Do you know
Friends.
that story?
I don't, but I would believe that. I didn't watch a lot of Friends.
Oh, I've watched Friends more than I should admit. We actually own the DVDs. It's one of the shows that my husband and I both love watching together.
Mm-hmm.
He was also able to actually watch them as they were coming out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because he's ancient,
older than me. He is ancient. I love him. My husband's 8.5, 9 years older than me. So he remembers when all these things were happening in real time.
Yeah.
I watched Friends a few years after it was off the air.
Mm-hmm.
And actually watched it all the way through, borrowing my brother's DVDs.
Ah.
This was before Netflix was truly a thing.
Mm-hmm.
This was when Netflix, you still only got the DVDs in the mail.
Yep. Oh, those
is when
nice.
that's when I binged Friends. But there's an episode in Friends where they start off the episode with the cold open, and Joey is heard in the apartment jumping on his bed,
mm-hmm.
and apparently falls off, and he ends up in this sling for, I think, that episode, maybe a couple of episodes. And of course, lots of jokes are made, only to find out the actor actually dislocated his shoulder and was stuck in that sling the whole time. So they wrote it into the show.
I like when they do that.
I love when they do that. And so, because they've got plenty of jokes out of it. So apparently finding out that this was possibly a reference to Friends, I thought was really funny, because Bob getting his hands messed up by playing the coin-op game. Many of the sound effects heard from Burgerboss was also used in the King of the Hill episode, Grand Theft Arlen.
Okay.
I'm finding it interesting that this show has so many connections with King of the Hill, because my husband, I told you, tried to show me King of the Hill, and I watched one episode, only the first one, and I'm just like, okay. He wants me to keep trying. I might keep trying because I love my husband, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, why do people like this?
And that's fair. Not every show is for everybody.
Not every show is for everybody. I live by this.
Yep. Media is subjective.
Media is subjective. We just had this conversation.
We did just have this conversation.
Other arcade games seen in this episode. We just have one that's called Moats.
Okay.
Starfighter.
Like it.
Space Runner.
Mm-hmm.
Ninja Police.
That sounds like fun.
Ski Bowl. Instead of skee ball, ski bowl.
Okay, that's fair.
Battle Bellies.
Okay, it was like sumo wrestlers?
I'm assuming Dream Machine.
Okay.
Driving Fast. These names are so... Karate Twins.
Okay.
Fuzzy Ball. Debate Heroes.
Okay, that sounds like something that the boring kids would play.
Yeah. You mean us?
We're the cool kids. What are you talking about?
I'd play that. What are you talking about? Mega Man.
Okay.
Block Blaster twice. Lane Merger.
That's fun and high stakes.
It is high stakes. One's just called Racing.
I like racing games in arcades.
Another one just says Neme, Neme. I do not know what this is meant to be.
I don't know.
At all. An unnamed helicopter game, and a game beginning with Ace, but they couldn't see the rest of the title for this list. So, thank you, whoever put that together, for Bob's Burger Wiki, because that is an interesting list to me. And the other one is Gun Shooter 3, which it's a shooter game.
That's fair. I like the racing games.
Me too. I love the racing games. They have Mario Kart at our Dave & Buster's near us.
Oh yeah, they have it at the round 1 by me. They have it there also. At least they used to. Emily
I
was very proud on our date that we went one time. We did it. She beat me once, and I'm like, okay, we're doing 2 out of 3, and then I beat her 2 more times.
Nice. I'm
I mean,
saving.
I have to maintain my status.
Yes, of course. I'm saving the last note for the end because that is your
Okay.
surprise.
Okay.
I only have a few notes, but I want to hear yours first to see if any of ours match up.
Okay. I wrote down Burgerboss looks fun. I'd probably be bad at it.
Me too, honestly.
Like, frankly, I would not be very good at I'm not I play like Mario games or like the older DK games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not good at them, but I play them. So
I'll play them with Steven. Steven's the one that's really good
mm-hmm.
at him. Like, he also
Yeah.
plays that Rayman game, the side
Okay.
scroll. It's called Rayman, and it's usually
Mm-hmm.
music with it. He's really good at it, and it's scary because he'll do like the
Okay.
really hard challenges, and he does it like it's nothing, and I'm just sitting there watching like, how? I can't.
Nah.
Nope.
Racing games are my like give me Mario Kart in any way, shape, or form, like I'm good to go, like truthfully. Because one of
Do
the few
you
games I've just
have
played a lot as a
Nintendo
child.
Switch?
I do.
We can play online together.
We should do that.
We should play Mario Kart together sometime soon because we have
Yes.
a
Yes, we should. I
Nintendo
think
Live the account so that I can play with friends.
we
I need to send you
absolutely
a friends request on that.
we'll figure that out later.
Yep. Now that we know we can do it.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got for me?
So go. Please stop. We're just leasing it. I just thought that line was funny.
Agreed.
When he hurt his hands, he's like, I don't need them. Like, Bob does kind of need his hands to run a burger restaurant. Okay.
I don't think he's thinking about burgers in this moment.
No, he's not. He's not. We found the little babies TikTok sound with the porcelain babies that were in
Yes.
fact very, very creepy.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. The no entry without kids for an arcade.
Yes.
Very much a good rule.
I wrote that. I was like, I like that adults can't go in without their kids. Love that because it keeps kids safe.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if it's kids are going to be wandering around all the time, or if you're having birthday parties, like random adults in arcades is creepy, which is why I like the round 1 or like the Dave and Buster's kind of thing, because it's not a space where you would expect it to just be kids. So parents tend to keep an eye on their children a little bit more so than at other places.
I wish. Not ours.
In theory.
Kids run wild at ours.
Yeah. I was saying the main funny note that I had besides we mentioned before about Linda being a romance lover really just ended up with what is it? How is sailing lessons for the kids a gift for Linda? Is really my question.
So that she can do something with her children. That would make sense for me because as a mom, if Steven had planned something for the kids to like learn how to do with me, it would make me happy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's something that I can concede is likely because I am a child-free by choice human being and I don't fully understand this concept.
As a mother, I love it.
Okay.
I wrote, Jimmy Pesto is the worst and makes me extremely uncomfortable.
He really is. He sucks.
Like, the entire first part of the episode, and he's making all these things. It's just like, dude, stop. There's children right there. What are you doing? It verifies our hate for Jimmy Pesto in all ways. Bob is taking way too many pills. I mean, I remember seeing like one of the scenes, he literally goes, okay, pill time, and he takes like 4 of them. I'm like, Bob, no. Yeah. That is also a continuity thing that continues. Which is not a good thing.
No, it's not.
Especially as a parent, maybe don't take way too many pills and get really high and chase children in an arcade. Would not recommend.
No, it's a bad idea.
Very bad idea.
No, 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10. And then my favorite line, Merginas. Are you okay?
Sorry, I was looking at my notes again. I got distracted by that because I think my brain just like blanked out when you said that. I'm like, I think I forgot
Yeah.
that line.
I think it was Jean just yells Merginas.
Yeah.
Well, the romance novels I think really were one of my favorite parts because the whole time I'm watching it, but this is the first time I've watched this where I have you in mind. And knowing our relationship with books and how we are in the book community, I'm just kind of sitting there like, I cannot wait to know what Lauren thinks of this because you are the
Yeah.
romance reader in this friendship. I'm the fantasy reader.
I am. Yeah, and like I'll admit, like yes, I mean like the joke of if Linda knows a lot about sailing romance novels, then I should also know a lot about cooking shows and publishing
Mm-hmm.
companies because like they're just it seems like I mean there's a niche obviously I've found books that all have the same kinds of themes, right? Like I found ones that all surround food because I like cooking shows and cooking competition shows and like I find that interesting. Publishing companies, it's a fun meta kind of thing that like a lot of romance novel characters work at publishing companies and what have
Mm-hmm.
you. Like it's a fun little thing. But like it some days it does feel like there's only so many occupations that people think characters in romance novels can have to be sexy. Like
Yeah.
I guess does anyone want to read a book about a sexy data analyst? I have no idea, but like their job doesn't necessarily always need to be a backdrop. It can just be a thing. Like it doesn't even need to really have an effect on their life other than that's their job. Although to be fair, what I just said about a sexy data analyst, one of the characters in one of my anthology stories is a data analyst, but it just serves as like a set
Mm-hmm.
dressing for her to work from home.
See, I like that
Her
though.
occupation has nothing really to do with the story, but it's just it gives us a reason for why she works
Well,
from
like that
home.
makes me think of how so to funny story. Lauren sends me books from time to time, and they're always sapphic romances because I did not know they existed until recent in my life, which really sucks as a bisexual woman. And so Lauren's like my sapphic book dealer now, which is wonderful. I'm still getting to quite a few of them because I all the advanced
Yeah, I'm
reader.
holding off on sending you some.
Well, I have so many advanced reader copies of books that I have to
You
get
do.
done. My reading schedule is very chaotic right now. And that's enough to say that sentence alone tells people how much we read. I have a reading schedule that I have to stick to right now. But it makes me think of like Delilah Green. She's a photographer, and it had very much to do with her personality and her past and her life, like things like that. And
Yeah.
I love it so much because there are like, if you think about all the different, I think it's mostly romance. I would say people really love sports romances and this type of romance and that type of
Yep.
romance. Like me, for it'd be fantasy romance. If I'm going to pick up a romance, I'm
Yeah.
more likely to pick up something that's fantasy and or sapphic. Now, if it's both,
Mhm.
I'm sold.
There are definitely fantasy sapphic romances out there that exist that aren't just monster romances. Like those are the ones that I've read, but like they definitely exist. I
Mm-hmm.
think this is just an issue I think in all of writing, but especially in the romance sector is the books exist, however, they are just not as ubiquitous
Mm-hmm.
as heterosexual romance or even honest or even Achillean romance. Unfortunately, it's just not as ubiquitous because people that are writing it, the ones that have the less voices, that there's the most of them, are the ones who are not sapphic or just choose not to write
Yeah.
sapphic romances. So, which is an unfortunate thing for all of the writing industry. It's just not as ubiquitous, but it is there if we can find it. But like I think workplace romance I think is predominantly probably one of the most popular like
Mm-hmm.
subgenres or tropes if you want to call it that. Because it's such an easy dynamic for people to understand very
Because
quickly.
most
People
people
understand
work.
how workplaces work. Yeah, most people if even if they don't work in the industry that the book is set in, they understand workplace
Yeah.
dynamics. So it's very easy to just kind of this person is a higher up, this person isn't. Go. Or these people are equal at this some kind of size company. Go. You don't have to do a whole lot of educating or building up of a relationship
Mm-hmm.
because the dynamic is kind of preset within your
Yeah.
circumstances.
I see. You make it sound much better than I could ever say it.
I've thought a lot about it.
I've just never been a huge romance reader, but then when I did start
Yeah.
reading the sapphic romances, I'm married to a man. I love my husband, and while I don't mind heterosexual relationships or romance books, it, it's not that I feel like I'm missing out. It's just a part of me that I
Mhm.
don't act on, and it's
Yeah.
nice to vicariously live through sapphic romance books. I will admit that,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, that's fair.
because
And that's why and like partially that's why I read sapphic romance, and not to live through it because I am a sapphic human being in a relationship with a woman, but it's because I like to see relationships indicative of mine,
Exactly. Like, I really
because
love
that's not
seeing myself
I like to see
represented. Yeah.
myself. Yeah,
Same thing. I like to see
exactly.
myself. Like that one book you were talking about, like, aren't both characters bisexual? And it's witchy. I'm trying to remember the name. Spell something.
Which one? Oh, this spells disaster.
Yes, that one. I really want to read that one so much.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very excited for that.
Hmm.
Do you know? Okay,
But yeah.
surprise or score first?
Let's do scores and then end with surprise. How's that?
Okay. What did you score this one?
So I gave this one a 7 for plot. I think it lost a few points because a good chunk of it relies on him being on drugs around children.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I did cut that down. I did like the security guards mentality of out the door, not my problem. Like
Yup.
I relate to you. I think the security guard alone is why I gave this a 9 for character. Because quite frankly, he was just funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then I gave it an 8 for personal, so it's just solid episode. Really enjoyed it. So overall, I gave it a 24.
We have matched our scores.
Oh,
I gave it a 7 for character. Um,
okay.
because Jimmy Pesto, good God, that was horrible. And like you said, Bob being on drugs around children quite often and like hanging out with a kid in the middle of an arcade that he doesn't actually know the parents of. A little weird.
Yeah, didn't feel right about
Um,
that.
I gave it 9 for plot because it's that chaoticness that I really, really enjoy in Bob's Burgers. I mean, it is pure chaos in this one. It's just
Oh
wild.
yeah.
And then
Hmm.
for personal, I gave it an 8.
Okay,
That is amazing. I think that's the first
I
time
love
we've
it.
ever tied a score.
I think so. Yeah.
So I have added a link to the notes to our script.
Okay.
In my research for this episode, I have discovered that with this episode's popularity, a fan has made a game called Burgerboss straight from the
Aw.
show, and you can play it.
Oh my god, is
And that
this
is
is a
the link.
simulator?
This is a simulator. You can play Burgerboss.
Oh, I love that. I admit still, I will try this probably after we're done recording. I will be
Oh, I
awful at
tried. I'm
this.
terrible. Yeah, I tried it. I'm terrible.
Like
I
I
need to
am
get
like
Steven to play it.
yeah. When it comes to side scrollers, like OG Mario, sure. I think I was no help to my friends. Like the one that's on the Wii, like whatever that one is, like Super Mario Bros. Whatever they
Yeah.
call it. Um, the one where you can bubble if you're gonna die. I am no use to my friends when we play that because the second I think I'm going to fall, I bubble. They're like, "You have to help us." Like, well, then get me out of my bubble. Like, I'm not helpful for anybody. So I might try this, and I'll let you know. I'm probably not going to beat the first level.
Oh no, I still haven't. I've tried it a few times. I'm terrible at it. I can't get the timing right. I'm struggling
Yeah.
with that one.
Okay.
But I thought it was just so cool that someone out there was like it had so much
Yeah.
popularity and so people loved it so much someone made the game.
That's awesome.
So, and then
People are so
eventually
creative.
when we publish this, we will definitely put this in the show notes so that people can
Yeah.
go and play for themselves. But you can play Burger Boss.
Yay.
I've watched this show for so long,
Hmm.
never knowing this existed.
It's fun with like finding new things this far into knowing shows.
It's been amazing. I've absolutely like learning as much as I have
Hmm.
has been absolutely like I think it's my happy juice for the week
Yeah,
because I call it happy brain juice.
I like it.
So,
These
yeah.
recording sessions are my happy time.
Yes. It's my adult time because I
Adult
spend
conversation is wonderful.
it is absolutely wonderful. I think it's been really great for my mental health because I spend 99% of my time with children
Yeah,
and I can only say so much at my husband until he's like, "Please stop."
that is fair.
So now you have to deal with me.
Thank you all for listening. Join us next time when we discuss Once Upon a Time, episode 110, 7:15 a.m. Don't forget to like, rate, and follow the podcast wherever you listen so you can be notified every time we publish a new episode. and follow us at OBDYK_pod on Instagram and TikTok.
This has been an episode of Okay, But Did You Know? A TV and media podcast. It was hosted by Katie and Lauren and edited by Katie.